page in case you forgot. I feel like I need some sort of fun intro, and we're back. Or, I don't know. Anyways, it's currently very late Sunday night. I meant to do this earlier, but I woke up early, quote on early. I guess 8:30 is early to some people. It's definitely early to me. After shocker, 7 hours of sleep. And guess what? Somehow that wasn't enough. So I had to come home and take a nap. Yeah, I got a COVID test today because, as you might recall, Tuesday is surgery day. So I have I have a little more than 24 hours until I go in for surgery. And I just thought today this video could be just the real general of my personal experience with Cushing's disease, because there's some things about it that you would probably read about and you'd be like, yeah, that's common for most people, and then there's a lot of things that are unusual about me or about my disease. There's a lot of unusual things about me too. My experience with Cushing's disease. All right, so it's all started back probably in no, that wouldn't be junior year of high school is roughly when we think things started, which I know is crazy. I'm 23 and we're talking about when I was like 16. Like, how does one go so long without such a diagnosis? But when you think about it, there's lots of things that women don't get diagnosed with until later in their life. Like, the number of people who've gone there who are like in their 30s and they just now learn they have something wrong with them that they've probably had their whole life. Ridiculous. I digress though. Anyways, so yeah, I was like 16 and I started getting chest pains. And I'm like, that's not normal. I mean, I'm a relatively healthy. Hold on, I need to turn off this light. So I told my mom about it, and at first she's like, nah, whatever, it's probably not a big deal, and that's fair. I mean, it usually ends up not being a big deal. But then, after complaining about it so much, she's like, okay, well, go to the doctor. We'll see what's up. So we went to the pediatrician. That's right, I was still seeing a pediatrician. That's how long ago this was. And then he recommends me to, I think, a cardiologist and a lung doctor. Like, I went and had lung tests, heart tests, because we're like, we don't really know what's going on exactly. And I also had started growing more tired at this time. And then right around my junior year of school, I'm not good at a lot of video stuff. Everything's really basics, so I'll try, but I can't promise. There's these two pictures that when we started researching and like looking back, we found this really good example of the moon face development, which is a really common and more noticeable sign of Cushing's. Where when was the first picture is, okay, weird transition. So I was a junior in high school, and I think the first picture was like August, like the very beginning of the start of the school year. And it was a picture of me and my friends, and you got a really good like look at my face. And it looked like my face, I had a jawline, all that good stuff. And then we cut to December. And there's another picture of me that's like pretty much the same angle, pretty similar to the other one. And you can just automatically see a difference of like how much rounder my face got in just a couple months. And my face has been increasingly round ever since. So there's that. This is around the time where we found out I had tachycardia, which is something that you can get with Cushing's. Our wild guess is that you can get high blood pressure from Cushing's. And since I have unusually low blood pressure, it's like a hereditary thing, that maybe that's kind of why this developed instead of the high blood pressure thing. So there's that. And that for, I don't know, the next couple years we thought that was the problem. Until I was 2021. I mean, we noticed I had been gaining weight and I was always really tired. But it had started to become such a normal thing for me that being tired all the time, I was like, this is just who I am. I just need to work out more. I just need to eat better, blah, 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 which I had tried to start doing. Problem there was nothing worked. Like, after a few weeks of trying to eat better and exercising, you should notice some form of a difference. Whether it's losing a pound or two, or being able to go to the gym for longer periods of time. No, it's like nothing got better. And it was really hard to explain that to people. Because they're like, oh, you just need to do more. You just need to do this. You just need... I'm like, listen, buddy. I'm listening to you. I'm trying. But it just wasn't working. I thought I was doomed. But yeah, no, I'm like... So then, like, I'm 2021 and we start to notice some other odd things. I think what really kicked it off is... At least I personally think this is where things really started to kick off. Is when my mom noticed the dark hair that was growing under, like, my chin and stuff. That is another symptom. Dark hair growth in women. There's some fancy name for it, but I can't remember. And so then I think that's when she started really looking into things. And, like, backing up a little bit, between, like, the time I was, like, graduating high school and up until then, we had been trying to figure out if something was wrong. Because it seemed like something was wrong. It seemed like there was more than just the heart problem. And a lot of the signs pointed towards some sort of thyroid problem, so they kept testing my thyroid. And it kept coming back completely normal. Oh, the test results are normal, so we don't know what to do. I don't know, run more tests? Try something new? Nope. So finally, I don't know how my mom came across it, but she came across Cushing's disease online because she's researching. She's, being that overbearing, overprotective, I'm going to figure this out myself type of mom, which is just like her. And so she told me about it, and she's like, you have a lot of these symptoms. And I was like, I don't know, okay. So I went to the doctor. It was supposed to be a basic, checkup thing. Rejected me. Like, essentially, she was like, I don't know, man. And then this is really hard to diagnose. And I don't think we're going to do anything about it. And I'm just like, I literally left that day and cried in my car the second I got into the parking lot. Because I was just so frustrated. Because it felt like we were starting to go in at least the right direction. And I just got completely shut down. So we were like, well, we'll figure this out. My mom's like, we'll figure this out. Because I was stupid. And I haven't been back to that lady since. And I don't even think she's there anymore. And if she still is, I pray for her patience. But so I think it's a couple months later, and I have an annual check up with my cardiologist, the best doctor in the entire world. This man had been through 3 surgeries and years of trying to figure out exactly what was wrong, and tried his hardest to do what he thought was best for me. And he was just the best doctor I think I will ever have in my life. And so we talked, and I was like, yeah, no changes heart-wise, blah, 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 blah. And my mom was there with me this time, thank God, honestly. And she brought it up, like the situation we had been having. And he was kind of like, because normally when you get recommended to a specialist, it's through your, like, primary care person. Like, other specialists don't want to step on their toes and this and that. But then my mom was like, well, she's not listening to us. She started talking about the symptoms. The doctor listened. He took a look at some of, like, my more outer symptoms, like the weight gain and, like, stretch marks and the weird, like, buffalo hump and stuff. And I will eventually go over all of the symptoms and what it does. But, yeah, so he was like, okay, yeah, no, I see what you mean. So then he's like, I will do my thing, and I will recommend you, send some recommendations out, and that's what he did. And then I think a couple months later, we saw. A couple months later? Sometime later. Honestly, the timeline blurs together after all this time. Because it's like, when did this happen again? I don't even know what day it is half the time. How am I supposed to remember something that happened 5 years ago? But, so we went to her, and we talked to her, and she asked me all these questions. I was like, I don't know. She's like asking me about questions about, like, you know, puberty, and I'm like, I was like 10. That was like 13 years ago. I don't even remember last week. No, I did my best to answer her questions, and then she was like, okay, you sound like you're a good candidate for, like, the possibility of this. So we're gonna, you know, run tests, do some stuff, you know, blood tests, saliva tests, all this fun stuff. So we started running, so we ran tests, and they came back, like, elevated, and she's like, okay, we're gonna run some more tests, and then she sent me to a neurologist, where he took some scans of my brain, and he looked at the test results, and he's like, Cushing syndrome, guaranteed. And I want to say that was like January, maybe. It was still the cold months. And then he was like, okay, but there's one last thing we have to do to confirm it and then proceed with this procedure. And that is do the exploratory surgery that I think I mentioned last time, but they had to go in through an artery and go up and, like, test my brain, figure out where the tumor was exactly, like which part of the brain that they needed to operate on or whatever. Here, the doctor says we have to wait for this medication that they're currently not making due to making COVID vaccines. So the waiting game begins. And then finally, I think end of April? I think I already told you guys this. Or maybe I didn't. I don't know. But so at the end of April, they're like, all right, this medicine's being made. We'll call you to set up the scheduling. And I was like, hell yeah, we're getting somewhere. And so finally, the day after the 4th of July, so July 5th, which I thought was funny because that means we didn't have that much of fun on 4th of July, but I don't have fun anymore anyways. They did the exploratory surgery, and then pretty quickly they got the results, and they were like, yep, you got Cushing's disease, buddy, and we think we see the tumor right here near the right side of your brain. And so we are going to schedule you for this surgery to remove this tumor in your brain. And I'm like, holy shit, now I just have to wait for this? Like, I hate waiting. I'm an extremely impatient person, if you don't know. And if you do know, you know. So we got it scheduled. So, like I said, it's Sunday night right now as I'm filming this. So a little more than 24 hours from now, I will be going in for the surgery, and that's where we're at. So yeah, look at this other strange transition. If anybody has any tips on how to do better with transitions on videos, I'm all ears. Yeah, so I guess keep a lookout for more updates, more stories. And I guess I'll see you guys next time. Bye.